Short, sustainable goals just for the next day, for the next week can really help, but always have something to work towards and make sure that intention is the right intention. If you're always running away from something, even have a clear set destination because you're just running to run to get out of wherever you're coming from. And then when you finally arrive at your destination, you don't know what to do with yourself. You want to move forward for the reasons that you want to progress. All the right reasons, all the healthy reasons. Let's talk about setting goals and why it's important to have something to look forward to in your recovery journey. Hey there, my name is Junior and I am a coach within the CFS recovery team. Now, quick disclaimer before I get into this topic, by no means am I a licensed medical professional, a doctor, or anything of that sort. I am just a coach that have gone through this myself and hopefully can give you advice based on my experience, and maybe it'll help you in some way, shape, or form. Okay. Let's get started. Now, as a coach, I've had the privilege to talk to literally thousands of people. And I think one of the most important things to spark up the conversation in the beginning that helps people along is asking them what they want to do after they recover. What are some goals, some aspirations, the things that inspire them? I always love asking people, and if you've had a one-on-one check-in meeting with me, you know this because I've asked you this question too, where if I took all of your symptoms away, if I took the condition away from you, what are some things that you want to do with your life? Right? And most of the time I get like this huge laundry list of things that they want to do. I have folks telling me, well, I'm glad you asked, Junior. I would love to do and from walking to traveling the world to eating their favorite foods to playing video games, being with their friends, socializing, going back to work, the list goes on and on and on and on. And that for anybody should be a huge indicator that CFS is not just a group of lazy people that feel like they don't want to do anything. These are folks that genuinely have like a super long list of things that they want to accomplish, but they physically can't do it, right? But even with that, sometimes, and I only say sometimes because it's a small group of people, I will actually run into a small demographic of people that will actually say, I don't know what I want to do with my life. I never thought about it. To be honest, I never thought I would even get that far in my recovery. So then my follow-up question becomes, that's interesting. You joined for a reason, right? You want to recover for a reason. What is that reason? What is your goal? And sometimes people's goals are just simply their next logical step. You see, when I talk about people's goals and what they should be, people can go under the assumption that, oh, I need to have these great, huge, large, expansive goals in order to be able to work through, because that's the thing that's going to inspire me enough to make change and sustain that change and keep me motivated and keep going. That's just not the case, guys, okay? So you don't need huge goals. I was talking with one of my thrivers a while back, and she told me, Junior, I don't have any goals and I can't see that far into the future. And whenever I try seeing that far into the future, I literally get a mental block. Like for whatever reason, my brain, it just won't allow me to see too far into the future. And so I would always tell her, instead of trying to force yourself to see so far into the future, because some people can, and she was comparing herself to some of those people, right? Never compare yourself to folks, by the way. It's just not fair to yourself. Never do it. But that's what she was doing. She was comparing herself and she was saying, well, these people have really big goals. I don't even know. I don't have anything to reference on, Junior. I've been sick my whole life. And so I told her, instead of looking for a goal just way out into the future, just try writing down a goal for the things you want to be able to accomplish tomorrow or even next week, right? And those goals are more than good enough. But what's really important is whether you have a goal for tomorrow, next week, next month, 1 year, 5 years down the road, you always want to have something that you're working towards, right? You want to always have something that you're directed towards becoming. I think that's really, really important, because if you don't have something that is drawing you to get to that next level, then what's going to happen is the thing that's going to fuel you to move forward is you running away from something, right? And that's never a healthy fuel to have. We talk a lot about how the intention behind why you do things is really important, and having the right healthy intentions for doing things can create a long-lasting future of sustainability. Or you can go down the other path where it might eventually burn you out. So you want to have the right intentions as to why you're doing things. You want to be drawn to something, and most of the time you want to be drawn to a better future. And in order to be drawn and magnetized and using that fuel of having a better future to move you forward, you have to have a future, some type of vision in mind. So what I like to do, and what I'm going to actually task you to do, is if you don't have a goal right now, if you don't have anything to work on or work towards in terms of something to look forward to, take out a piece of paper, pause this video, and actually write down something in terms of something that you want to work towards. And that can be anything, right? It can literally be anything. Let's say you're walking just 5 minutes right now, and you say, I want my goal for next week for me to go from walking 5 minutes to 7 minutes. It could be a physical goal. It could be a goal of responsibility, right? I want to be able to be accountable and responsible to get off the couch once a week and wash the dishes just once a week. I want to be able to have that responsibility. That can be one of your goals. It doesn't have to be physical, though, for things like walking and washing the dishes. Sometimes it can be an emotional goal. So for an example, I had somebody actually come up to me with the example that they wrote down: next time a real life stressor comes up, I'm going to try to either, let's say, not take it so personally, or try not to immediately freak out or immediately have an anger response when something doesn't go my way, right? I'm going to try to be a lot better about that. And maybe that can be somebody's goal for the next month or so. It could be a mental stability goal where somebody writes, the next time I start having worrying thoughts, or the next time I start catastrophizing or overthinking about something, I'm going to try to do my best to counter those thoughts in a different direction so I have more healthy and balanced thoughts and I don't identify with those negative thoughts, and try practicing what we call more blue sky thinking, which is taking a worst case scenario and then redirecting it and saying, what's the best case scenario in this situation? That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about having realistic, logical, sustainable goals, right? Because here's what I found about goals. If they're too much in the future, it can actually create a sense of overwhelm, believe it or not. Because the task is much too big, the brain can see it as, wow, that's a lot to work towards. I don't want to even think about that, right? And so what you want to do, at least to start, if you don't have any goals at the moment, short, sustainable goals just for the next day, for the next week, can really, really help. But always have something to work towards, and make sure that intention is the right intention. Remember, working towards something that you can look forward to, working towards a happier, healthier, balanced life with a more regulated nervous system. We don't want to do work for the sake of getting away from something. That is so common within the community when I talk to people. When I ask them, why do you want to recover? And they'll tell me, I want to get away from my toxic environment. I want to, get away from my current situation. I'm always running away from something. And that's the thing. If you're always running away from something, you don't even have a clear set destination, because you're just running to run to get out of wherever you're coming from. And then when you finally arrive at your destination, you don't know what to do with yourself, right? Because you've been running away the whole time, and now you're here. And then they say, all right, great, I'm well. I spent all my intention running away from something now that I'm well, and now I feel lost. and now I don't know what to do, because they don't have any sense of direction, because they used all that fuel to get away from something, not move towards something. So then they're just stuck and lost in that place, right? So those are the main points that I really wanted to talk about that I think are really, really important. Having a goal to work towards, and then having the right intentions as to why you want to move forward, for the reasons that you want to progress, right? All the right reasons, all the healthy reasons. So my task for you, if you haven't done it again, I'm going to repeat myself one more time before we hop off this video. Take out a piece of paper or pull out your notes app or your laptop or something like that, and set just a very short list of 3 to 5 points of goals that you want to get accomplished, okay? Some realistic things, whether it's mental, emotional, or physical goals that you want to get done within the next day, the next week, or maybe the next month, maybe the farthest, all right? So let's get that done, and I'm looking forward to reading some of your guys' goals. Please post them below in the comments. And remember, you are only one mind shift away from living a life full of thriving health. Again, my name is Coach Junior. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I'd say that CFS recovery is absolutely the real deal.
I actually felt like somebody had an answer, like somebody explained what was going on, and it all clicked. Explained